Asgard!
Get the popcorn out. He's gonna do a speech.
See what's happening here. You're afraid. Scared.
Oh no.
Anxious.
Thor!
My friends, times like this, we need to unite and come together. I'm sorry, Meek. It's very hard to get a rousing speech with the noise.
Oh, God. We're gonna die.
Thor, this is my vow. Oh, gods will die.
That seems a bit dangerous.
This ends here and now!
Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. Rated PG-13. Tickets on sale now.
How exciting.
Experience it only in theaters July 8th.
Welcome to the red carpet world premiere of Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder, live in Hollywood. I'm Erica Ishii.
What's up, Marvel Universe? I'm Anthony Carboni, and I am so excited to be here with you, Erica, in Hollywood, California, in the center of it all, where in just a few minutes, we are going to be joined by the cast, crew, and creators of Thor: Love and Thunder.
And we are already joined here by the best fans in the world, the Marvel fans. Make some noise for Asgard!
Oh, they're looking so good. Let me ask you something, all you Thors and Star-Lords and Lokis out there. How you doing in this balmy 90-degree weather?
And for all the Dr. Jane Fosters and the Valkyries, how you doing, ladies?
Let me tell you something. These fans are out here in the heat, hanging out because they are the best fans in the universe, and they are just as excited as we are for this movie. Let me tell you something, Erica Ishii, and I think you already know this about me, and I think it's the same for you. Thor Ragnarok changed my life.
It's our favorite.
It changed my life. This movie is so amazing, and I am so excited to see where Thor goes from here and where this entire cast and crew goes from here. It's going to be very, very exciting.
That's right. And for those of you who are joining us at home, you can catch us live at marvel.com/Thor premiere.
You're on it.
Yeah, that's it. Marvel's YouTube and Twitch pages and Marvel's social channels.
That's right. And if you want to join us, if you want to join in on the action here and talk to us live on the live stream, remember you can tag @ThorOfficial and @Marvel on Instagram. On Facebook, you want to be on @Marvel and @Thor, and on TikTok @Marvel, and of course, everywhere you want to be using the hashtag Thor: Love and Thunder. We're going to be watching that one all show long, and you may see what you're saying pop up on the screen.
Wow.
Look at all the
Mjolnirs. Mighty crowd of mighty Marvel fans.
You know who else is mighty?
Is it Tamara?
It is Tamara Krinsky over on stage. Tamara Krinsky!
Tamara, how's it going down there?
Hello. Hey, Erica. Hey, Anthony. I'm Tamara Krinsky, and I am right smack dab here in the middle of the red carpet for the world premiere of Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. And this is an amazing spot because shortly, right behind me, the cast and the filmmakers are going to be making their way down the carpet to head inside the theater to see this film for the very first time. So we're going to talk to the cast, we're going to talk to filmmakers, and I'm actually really excited to talk to some of the folks behind the scenes who are responsible for putting together this crazy cosmic adventure. And not only that, it's a Marvel carpet, right? We are live, so anything can happen. And we're going to have folks from the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe who will be talking to about their thoughts on Thor and their favorite Asgardians. Now, something that you guys who have watched these live streams before know, a lot of times you will see stuff happening over my shoulder on the carpet that I don't even know is happening because I'm focusing on the person I'm talking to. So we definitely want to know what you're seeing. So definitely use that hashtag, Thor: Love and Thunder, and let us know what you love, because honestly, this carpet is just full of love tonight. Erica, Anthony, what are you guys looking forward to?
I'm honestly looking forward to the surprises because on these red carpets, yes, we are here to celebrate all of the larger cinematic universe, but we're also here to just celebrate what these people are going to pull and what the surprises they're going to show us.
Oh, absolutely. This is an absolutely wonderful cast and crew. They have worked together for years. They are some of the most brilliant and hilarious and closest people you will see on a movie set.
So I want to see them all reunite tonight.
That's exactly it. I want to see all of these people together enjoying what they have worked on and what they have made. It's going to be very, very exciting.
That's right. And why don't we take a little peek at the trailer for what we're going to see tonight?
Kids, get your popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. Well, he got in shape. He went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor. Oh, spoke too soon.
Jane? The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been, like 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take.
Am I, sensing feelings?
Well, you're right.
The only ones who gods care about is themselves.
So this is my vow. All gods will die. I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
He's just my first bad guy.
You never forget your first.
You are not like the other gods of kill.
You have something worth fighting for.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick.
Oh, you flicked too hard, damn it!
Should we help him? And eventually, grape.
Wow.
That's a lot of Thor. That's more Thor than we've ever seen.
I've decided what I'm most excited about for tonight, Anthony. We're starting to get some arrivals here on the carpet. Friends of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Very exciting. Hey, Marvel Universe, what's up? Hey, if you've got Mjolnir, hold up Mjolnir. Who's got Mjolnir?
We got some Stormbreakers and helmets in there, too.
Woo! Lot of Mjolnirs. Hey, do we have any Stormbreakers? Where's Stormbreaker? Oh, we got way more Mjolnirs.
Yeah, that's true.
Way
That's
more
true.
Mjolnirs. Stormbreaker not getting enough respect, I think, tonight.
You know, I think after tonight, Stormbreaker will make it known that he is worthy.
I believe so as well. Hey, you know who else is worthy? All of the wonderful people that have helped to put together this event tonight. You are seeing some of this carpet behind us, but you have no idea how amazing this actually looks. From all of the amazing stand-ups to the costumes to the props, and there's an amazing team of artisans that put this together out of nothing over the last 2 days. Let's see how they did it.
Are you a Marvel insider yet?
You see that QR code on your screen? You want to grab your phone, you want to scan it, and you want to join Marvel Insider today.
Because you can earn points by reading articles and watching videos on Marvel.com. You can purchase digital comics, you can answer quizzes, and much, much more.
And once you rack up those points, you can redeem them for cool rewards like digital comics, posters, experiences, and more.
And starting tonight, Marvel Insider has digital copies of Thor from 2014, #1, available to redeem now, and you don't even need points to do that.
In this issue, the Goddess of Thunder rises. You want to know more about her story? Start your journey today by claiming your copy.
And remember that there are limited quantities, so act fast. And remember, it's free to join, so start today and get rewarded just by being your Marvel fan self.
Scan the QR code or visit marvel.com/insider today. All right. Everybody is starting to arrive. The crowd is getting very, very excited. I want to know, Tamara Krinsky, how are things going over on your end?
Things here are getting hot, and I mean that literally, because one of the things, we've gotten shots of the cosplayers on your end of the carpet, but right across, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard, I can see the sidewalks that are just filled up with Thor fans, with Marvel fans, and these folks have been out in the hot sun all day long. So it's pretty amazing to see just how dedicated they are. The other cool thing is that right behind me, we've got, the Thor, all of the Thor imagery, and people keep taking pictures and like doing the hammer pose. So that's actually been really fun to watch, wondering if they're worthy or not. What about you guys? Are you worthy down there?
All right, everybody. Now, we have been talking about all of the wonderful Marvel fans that have been hanging out here on the carpet and some of their amazing costumes. You have seen them in a wide shot. You have seen them from a jib. You have seen them from the air. But it's time to highlight some of the best cosplay that we have on this carpet.
Fantastic. And that was really near and dear to my heart because I started out as a cosplayer, and I have some of my cosplay buddies out here tonight in the crowd.
Yeah, everybody's looking extremely wonderful. I cannot believe the dedication of these people. But hello.
Hello, everyone.
But hello to you. Hello, Jamie Alexander. How are you?
Last time I checked.
Lady Sif, what have you been doing in the meantime in New Asgard?
Oh, what have I been doing? I'm pretty sure if I say anything, a Marvel sniper will get me. But I will tell you that this movie's great. I can't tell you how I know that, but I can tell you that. And you guys are going to have a lot of fun. It's an adventure. It's a heck of an adventure.
Could you just give us, if you had some hand signals and some winks that you could do to let us know what's happening in the film?
There are swords involved, guys. You should know this.
Actually, we were not
supposed
to talk about swords.
Well, you set me up. He set me up, guys.
Honestly, Lady Sif has been jumping around everywhere in the Marvel Universe. Last time we saw you, you were torturing Loki pretty good, which was lovely. That must have been fun.
I mean, for several reasons, guys. I feel like if there was anybody that needed to beat up Loki, it would be Lady Sif.
extremely cathartic and very well deserved. Now, can you tell me about the training that you did both for beating up Loki and for kicking butt in this movie?
Oh, beating up Loki, that just came naturally. I was just like, look, I got this. I'll roll in the day of. Just stand there, don't move. I did land a hit on him once, it was like a little love tap. I was moving a little faster than he was moving, and I made contact, and he fell to the ground because he was supposed to. I didn't knock him to the ground. And then he got up, and I said, Tom, I'm so sorry. He goes, no, it's great, it's great, it's great. And I was like, he thinks it's great. I'll do it again. And for this installment, I didn't have to train, and you'll see why. That's all I got to say.
Ooh, it's because you're just naturally a badass. Yeah?
That's right. I'll give you the money later, but thank you.
I do want to say that I think it's interesting that you threw in two little humble brags, which was number one, you were moving a little faster than Tom.
That's just, I can't help myself. It's just a fact. It's a fact. I wasn't bragging. It was a fact.
And then number two, that it was a love tap for you, but he fell down instantly.
He was supposed to fall down, everyone. He was acting. That's what he told me. He was acting. Yes.
You know, even though we've seen you jumping around in the MCU for a while, we have not seen you in Thor proper for a little bit. How did it feel to kind of come back and be working with everybody again and be back with the team?
It was very nostalgic. Very, yeah. It was great.
We are so glad to have you back here. And for now, let's see what Tamara is up to. Tamara!
Hey there.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Jamie. It is so much fun to see Jamie talk about this. Her sense of humor is on full display, but it was really touching to see how much it meant to her to come back to the Thor universe. So I'm kind of loving that. You know, there are so many people here who are such a big fan of this character and who have watched these movies over and over, and they all have their favorite parts. So we talked to some of the fans. As I mentioned, they've been here all day just waiting for the stars to show up. We talked to some of the fans about what some of their favorite best moments from Marvel Studios' Thor Ragnarok over the years have been. Let's take a look.
I'm going to have to say my favorite Thor moment in the MCU is going to be the Infinity War when he came down and he said, "Bring me Thanos."
When he was about to fight the Hulk and he was all, "Yeah, that's my friend from work." I still laugh every time I watch that one.
My favorite team up is when Thor works with his brother Loki, when they do get help in Thor Ragnarok.
My favorite team up is Korg and Thor. Korg is my absolute favorite character. You know, he tried to start a revolution, but he didn't print enough pamphlets.
I would have to say Loki, because he cares so much for Loki, and so he's always trying to figure out what to do with his brother. So I would say Loki's probably his toughest enemy.
I'm going to go with a broad concept and say himself. I have loved Thor's journey, his hero's journey up until this point, and he has shown all of us as fans and as followers that you can have a falling and a deep state of yourself but always come back stronger than ever before. So Thor's biggest enemy was himself, but he overcame it, didn't he?
I am here with Liam McHugh, who many of you know as Sprite from Marvel Studios' The Eternals. Welcome to the red carpet.
I'm so excited to be here. Thor is my favorite superhero out of everyone. You can watch all my interviews, that's all I say. I can't breathe, I'm so excited for this movie.
All right, so when did you first fall in love with Thor?
Oh my gosh. I've been a Marvel fan before any of this. Before this crazy thing happened to me, since the very first movie, I think Thor was always my favorite.
And what about the rest of the Asgardians? Do you have any that you hold near and dear?
Loki and Thor are pretty close. I love them when they're together. They're funny.
Well, that kind of makes sense, actually, because, Sprite is, we'll call Sprite a bit of a gray character. You kind of never know which way they're coming from, and Loki's similar, right?
Yeah, people compare her to Loki all the time.
And so, being here, being in a Thor event, we've got Stormbreaker, we've got the hammer, we've got Zeus's thunderbolt or Zeus's lightning bolt. Which would you prefer to wield if you had the choice?
The hammer. I think the hammer. Definitely.
And where would you use it to travel to?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. I like the beach. I like summer vacation-y places, so the Bahamas or somewhere fun.
Well, it's pretty steamy here today, so a beach vacation makes sense.
It's pretty hot.
Well, there's going to be a lot of hotness on the carpet, so, that's good. I'm so curious what it's been like for you, after Marvel Studios' The Eternals was released and you've been part of this larger MCU coming to events like that. Can you talk to the fans about what that feels like?
I mean, it's completely changed my life. Every time I come to a red carpet or anything, I always get so nervous and excited before because I am so grateful and honored that I get to be here. I mean, I was a fangirl before any of this, and to just be able to come to like almost every Marvel movie red carpet is still insane to me, and I still am in awe every time I come here. And I mean, my life has changed so much, and I'm so grateful for all of it.
Well, we love watching what you do on screen, and we're curious, if there were something that you could say to the fans about, just kind of what being a part of Marvel means to you and all of that.
It's a family, it really is, and they treat you so incredibly well. It just makes you want to keep back and doing more and making more movies and working for them forever. Yeah, it's definitely a very special thing to be a part of.
Well, we're so glad you're here, and thank you for stopping and talking to the fans. I'm going to let you go because I know you got to talk to other people and you want to see the movie, so have a great night.
Wait to see the movie. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great to see you. All right, what is happening over there at Stage 1?
Erica is awestruck still by some of the cosplayers running by.
Some really good cosplay right now. and as I said, I come from this world. Yeah. So my D&D buddies are in the crowd.
Every time.
I see them. And
every time somebody walks by in a new character, we just freeze for about 5 to 10 seconds.
That was a beautiful interview talking about being a fan before becoming part of this, and I think that's something that ties everybody here together, is that we were all just huge nerds for this since as long as we can remember.
I mean, these are stories, these are characters that have been around for 60, 70, 80 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 60 years for Thor now.
60 years for Thor this year, which is really amazing, and it's wonderful to see this cast as well, because you know that they are fans of it too. Who are you excited to see here? I mean, I gotta say, I am very excited, of course, to talk to Chris about what it is like to be playing Thor for 11 years and be the first Marvel hero to have 4 solo films. That is such a huge accomplishment.
Taika Waititi is my favorite director. I love what he does, and I love how much heart he has put into Thor and the Thor section of the universe, and how it's expanded and become just fun or like even more fun and even wackier and more colorful.
Yeah, space is just a black light painting on the side of a custom van, really, and I love it. I love it so much. Of course, having Tessa Thompson coming back as King Valkyrie is so wonderful. In what, new character in Thor Ragnarok, fan fave instantaneously. And I would just love to talk to her about that, because we haven't spoken to her since then.
I want to talk to her about the suits. The power suits.
So many power suits on King Valkyrie.
Yeah.
She's really leaning into that lifestyle, and I enjoy it. And of course, Natalie Portman returning as Jane Foster.
I am so happy
the mighty
that she's
Thor.
Coming back.
She's coming back as the mighty Thor. This is such a huge thing, because obviously we have seen the story of Thor and Jane from Thor's perspective, and mostly through the absence of Jane over the last 3 years.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I have loved the Thor films. They could use about 50% more Natalie Portman as Dr. Jane Foster.
And we've got it. We've got it
I
coming.
got it. I'm so excited. I'm very excited for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is going to be showing up. Above and beyond that, we've got Christian Bale as a brand new villain to the MCU, Gore the God Butcher. And
completely transformed.
Just from the trailers and the clips and the photos that we've seen, there is a singular photo of Gore the God Butcher. You know the one I'm talking about, with his pained grin, that has just been making the rounds on the internet, and everybody is like, I get this guy. This is me when, is what people are saying.
That's the thing about every single enemy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is there's a little part of you that's like, oh, I love them, though.
Yes.
Maybe they're right a little bit.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to see what you do with a character with a name like Gore the God Butcher, and how you add that depth to it. So very exciting stuff. We have, of course, more from Tamara Krinsky over on our other stage. Tamara, how you doing?
I am great because I am here with Kieran Dyer. We were just talking about the fact that he is new to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he's been watching these premieres for years, right?
For a long time, yeah, but it's so great to be here, and I can't believe I am here. It's surreal. It's literally surreal. I can't, and it's so weird seeing the setup and everything. This is my first premiere as well. So.
We are so happy to welcome you. We're happy to welcome you to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I have to ask, what was it like when you got that call saying that you had booked this film?
Lots and lots of screaming. Lots and lots of screaming.
The good kind, I hope.
Oh, yeah, the good kind, yeah. I was kind of shocked at first, I guess. I couldn't believe it. And then when they flew us out to Australia, and it was crazy.
So what was it like filming in Australia? I mean, don't give us any spoilers, of course, but what was it like being down there with the cast?
It was really great. I mean, the cast were amazing. They were so nice. Chris, TahiiaTi, all of them, they were really nice. It was really nice. I could learn from them as well, because obviously they've been acting for a long time. They've been playing their parts for a long time, so I learned a lot from them. It was really great to just be able to watch them and see how they work with improvisation and stuff like that as well. So
I want to ask you more about that, actually. You know, is there something that you learned from them that you think now you'll take to other sets with you? Anything in particular that you'd pass along to other people?
Yeah, probably improvisation, because I hadn't done much of that before. And obviously Taika, he loves improvising, he loves trying out new stuff, and it's crazy, it's really nice. So I guess I could take that elsewhere when I do other films and stuff like that, and I'll be able to just have fun and play around with lines and stuff like that.
I've got to ask you a little bit more about Taika. If you were sort of going to describe like the role he plays, the style of directing, is he like a big brother? Is he like a funny uncle? Is he a tyrant? What's he like on set?
A bit of all three, I guess. He's a funny uncle, he's a big brother. He's just great to have on set. He's really nice to talk to, really helps you. He's just a great director, and obviously he acts in the film as well, which is really cool. But yeah, he's been great. He's amazing, and he really helped me to feel comfortable and be able to play my role as I should. And yeah.
Well, you know, we know it was a combination of digital sets and real sets. What was that like for you?
Oh, that was really crazy, because obviously there were some blue screens where they had CGI, and then they built real sets, which was really amazing, and it was incredible because the sets were so big, they were so bright, and yeah, it was really great. And on the blue screens, I guess it was a bit hard to film because you didn't know what was going to be there or what it was going to look like at the time. But yeah, it was great.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by and talking to the fans. I'm so happy to be your first official Marvel Cinematic Universe red carpet. Have an amazing time tonight. Congrats.
Bye-bye.
I love welcoming new people to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's so cool to see how excited they are, especially when it's somebody who's been a fan of the MCU for all this time. And I cannot wait for people to see what he does in this film. Now, I'm just curious, what is going on over at Stage 1?
I will tell you what is going on, Tamara.
Be cool.
The God of Thunder himself has stepped onto the red carpet.
Be cool.
And the fans are going wild!
Point Break is in the building. Repeat, Point Break is in the building.
Copy.
This is very exciting. It's lovely to see, like, everybody. I mean, we've got so many Thors in the audience, so many people that have brought Mjolnir with them, and it's lovely to see them meeting Chris and having everything signed. This is a really great moment.
Some of my favorite moments on the carpet happen in these moments when they're on the walk up to the interview, where they get ambushed by some of their other friends in the cast, or where they meet somebody that clearly says something that touches them, and it's really wonderful to see, and I'm really happy that we get to have the fans here with us on the carpet tonight. Oh.
So wonderful. Man, and I'll tell you, as he is showing up, everybody else is showing up. There are a ton of people that we are excited to see tonight.
Oh.
I mean, look, the Guardians of the Galaxy are in this film.
Yeah.
They are there.
They are. They certainly are.
And I absolutely love the tiny bit of interaction between Thor and the Guardians that we've already seen.
It's so funny because I feel like Thor Ragnarok really established Thor as just a funny dude, and getting to see him with the Guardians, who are generally quite goofy as well, has just been such a treat. And so I would watch an entire spin-off series with that group of space people.
Absolutely, and we're going to see some of them tonight. I mean, you know, hopefully we're gonna see, like, I mean, I would love to speak to Sean Gunn. Honestly?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, there's a character that came out of nowhere and had such a wonderful arc and story in Guardians.
Well, and he's been working with his brother James Gunn behind the scenes on that franchise for a while now, too. He did a lot of the original capture for Rocket.
Yep.
And let me tell you a little bit of something as somebody who's done a little mocap, is that doing animal work, difficult. Very fun, but difficult.
If
doing
I could ask
human
you,
work, yes.
If I could ask, like, if you were going to do a raccoon right now.
Oh, okay, so they do this thing where they, like, wash with their hands and they, like, scuttle. I've been doing a lot of that.
This is what you've tuned in to see. This is what the Marvel fans want.
Panda fan. My Trash Panda fam is something that I've studied very closely. And so I can say with authority that Sean Gunn's raccoon moves, aces.
Aces. Obviously, one of the things that we want to see is some more of this Thor and Star-Lord interaction, because here are two guys that are mostly ego, that are mostly wisecracking, that mostly think of themselves as the one in charge.
Yes.
And it's very lovely to see, just in that 15 seconds we saw, the power struggle between the two of them.
Who's captain on that ship?
Exactly.
You suppose. And who, I don't know, who would you pick as captain?
Who would I pick?
Yeah. Who would you take your orders from?
Rocket.
Okay. All right. Yes. That is correct, Anthony. Correct.
We've got some more coming up here from the stage in just a moment, but first we want to show you some more of this fantastic setup we have here at the premiere, including a little exhibition that we like to call the Hall of Heroes, Erica Ishii. Let's take a look.
We told you this carpet was massive, so here I am, all the way at the other end of the carpet, where in just a short while, the cast and filmmakers are going to make their way down and head into the theater for the world premiere of the film. But before they do, we have an awesome surprise for them, an incredible display of costumes from Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's take a look. But first, we have a little bonus surprise for you. The head of the lovable tooth gnasher, one half of the famous goat pair. Since the goats are so large in the film, they use these very heads on set to help the actors with the eye lines. Now we have Zeus, played by Russell Crowe. Now we're gonna have to wait and see exactly how his role plays out in the film, but we can see that his costume invokes regal qualities. It features gold accents and a chest plate that's befitting of a Greek god, and works in tandem with his famous lightning bolt. Next to him, we have the mighty Thor, played by Natalie Portman, who becomes a hero in her own right. Now, many parts of this look were created to reflect what we know as Thor's original hero costume, including the iconic red cape. But Dr. Jane Foster is very much her own person, so this mighty Thor has definitely put her own spin on what it means to possess the power of Thor. And here we have Thor, our god of thunder, who's gotten a new look for this film. You'll notice that the costume builds on many of the usual elements of his traditional space Viking look, but the designers have taken it to the next level with new gold plating and more metal used throughout the costume, including his new double set of shoulder plates and awesome new helmet. And now we have Valkyrie's costume. The team really wanted this costume to represent a merging together of all of the different roles that Valkyrie has played in her life, from a Valkyrie warrior to a scrapper, and even King of Asgard. Next up, we've got Gore's look, worn by Christian Bale in the film. Gore's look is incredibly monochromatic, so the designers played with textures and movement within the fabric to give life to this costume and create his unique sinister look. And now here we have the other half of our goat pair, Tooth Grinder. The costumes in this film are incredible, and I cannot wait to see all of the cosplay that they're going to inspire after the film is released. And with that, let's head back to the front of the carpet.
Oh my goodness, everybody milling through right now, signing autographs. Everybody is showing up. We are joined right now by somebody that we are very excited to talk to, Jennifer Caton Robinson. Hello. The writer of Thor Ragnarok, co-writer of Thor Love and Thunder.
Yes. Did not write Thor Ragnarok. Did co-write Thor Love and Thunder.
Right, we're all caught up now.
Yes.
So you can tell us almost exactly nothing about this.
Yeah, I can tell you nothing. I can tell you Thor is in it. Yeah. The mighty Thor is in it. Valkyrie is in it. Gore is in it. And that's it?
But here's what you can tell us. you can tell us, previous to this, you worked as a consulting producer on Hawkeye, and that was your first entry into the MCU. How has it been, and what was it like working with Taika on kind of creating this new Thor movie?
Okay, I feel like people use this word a lot in this industry, and we all talk in hyperbole, but I really mean this genuinely when I say Taika is a genius. And being able to be around him and to learn from him and to just watch him work was the coolest thing I've ever experienced in this industry. It is like, if you ever have the opportunity to co-write a movie with Taika Waititi, I highly recommend it.
Okay. I'll make a note of that.
Yes. So he also famously does a lot of improvisation. Were there moments that the cast found or that he found that you went, oh, I got to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was such a living kind of document the entire time, the script, and it was like, we would have something, and then we would get there in the morning, and then we would change it, and then 10 minutes later we would change it, and it was just like, it kept evolving, and it was such a collaboration between myself, Taika, the actors, Brian Chapek, our producer, like everybody involved, Brad Winterbaum, like Kevin, everybody involved really has a piece of this film in such a special way because Taika fosters an environment where everybody has a voice.
That's so wonderful. And I am so excited for people to see this movie, Jennifer, because I think it is so funny and so sweet and so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Tamara, what you got going on?
Oh, just hanging out, watching people walk by, hearing fans cheer for people walking by. It was so cool to hear Jennifer talk about the collaborative environment on set. So often writers kind of get shafted, and it was amazing to hear her talk about how much Taika and she worked together and the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe team to bring this world to fruition. There's so many new elements that we get to see in this film, as well as places that we get to revisit, and knitting that all together is really, really challenging. It took a huge creative team to do that, and the fact that they all work so closely together, they've involved new technology together. There's a new thing that they've used in this film called the Volume. It's new technology, which is a complete 360 digital set. So instead of actors being on a green screen or a blue screen and having to just kind of imagine what's going on around them, they're actually surrounded by their environment, and they get to see it in real time. The light reflects off of their faces in real time. It's pretty amazing. And then they take that and they combine that with incredible practical sets that they build. And it creates just a seamless whole that's really incredible to see. And, for the actors, they've talked about the fact that the combination of these production sets where they get to walk on real cobblestones in places like New Asgard, combined with the digital piece of the Volume, allows them just to imagine things in entirely different ways. And for the first time, they don't have to necessarily talk to a tennis ball on the top of a pole when they're trying to imagine something, or they can actually, sit on set and look out and see the sunset that they're talking with. So it's pretty incredible when you think about how far advances have come when it comes to creating all of these worlds that amazing comic book artists and writers have imagined and been able to draw. And now film technology has caught up to that, and Marvel Studios is so good at putting that together and putting things on screen. So who are you guys talking to right now? What do you have coming up? What are you seeing over there?
So we're
Oh, sorry. No, please.
Excuse me,
after
sir.
you.
We are here with Mr. Christian Bale, who plays Gore the God Butcher.
They recognize him.
So how does it feel to join the MCU?
It's been a lot of bloody fun. Yeah, some good people. I'm in very good company.
I gotta ask, a character with the name like Gore the God Butcher, I feel like I hear that, I know exactly what Gore the God Butcher is about. How do you bring some more depth and nuance to that? Is that something that you talked with Taika about? Because he's a guy that butchers gods, right?
Yeah, his name is self-explanatory, isn't it? And, he is a butcher. But Taika, he's a surprising gentleman. He's crazy talented, and he manages to have great irony and comedy. But it's also very moving, this film, and that's where the whole kind of nuances that you're talking about come into play in this film.
See, he was just doing that thing that we have to do where we just talked around something. But I get what you're saying. I heard from people on the set. I mean, Tessa and Chris, they said, we really enjoyed working with Christian, but we were almost kind of terrified to talk to him when he was done up as Gore. He was almost too frightening to speak to when he was on set.
It was a little creepy. I like, obviously, I looked at Nosferatu as an influence, and also I love Aphex Twin videos, Come to Daddy, that, right? Now, you can't do that full on and still have it be a family-friendly film. People would be running for the exits. But believe me, we did shoot that. And then, you know, I gave Taika lots of choices there, but I don't blame him. He was a creepy fellow to be around. And then on top of that, I had these fangs, so I couldn't really talk to anybody because every time so I just gave up.
That's another thing is you underwent a complete makeup transformation, and that happened every single day. What was it like having to sit in the chair for all of that? Did it get easier?
You got to go to a Zen place. I've done it a few times in my career. I kind of didn't realize I was going to do it on this one, actually, but the special effects makeup artists, Adam Johansson and Carla and Emily, they are as responsible as I am for creating this character. And I had a great time. They were wonderful characters, and it was a nice little transition into the weirdness of Gore each and every morning.
That transition was not only makeup and hair and costume, but movement and speech as well. Can you talk us through a little bit of that process?
Yeah, you know, you don't really know what you're going to do until you're looking in the mirror, especially with something with that much prosthetics. And, you know, that we had planned the whole dance that Taika and I had planned. We didn't get to shoot it again. That'll be for another film. But a whole Gore dance, and so with a lot of his movements and styles. And I had to teach that to my wonderful stunt doubles as well, who adopted this movement very well.
I love that.
We were robbed, everyone.
We were robbed.
So much of it was because I was having to deal with these very long acrylic nails, which hats off to anyone who has to deal with acrylic nails. I couldn't do anything all day with them.
But I love how much you find the enjoyment in this. I mean, you know, you obviously have to, but it comes through so much in the performance and in the character of Gore. I was just overjoyed every time you were on screen. It was so much fun to watch Gore doing his thing.
You're obviously a very sick man.
Yes!
Be overjoyed to watch a god butcher doing his butchering.
You know, that's between me and my counselor, but yeah, you're not too far off.
But that's the thing, though, is that I was saying this earlier, that every enemy in the MCU, there's a grain of truth in what they say, and they have a lot of their supporters. How do you feel like there was something with Gore that would make everybody go, he's kind of right?
Well, I mean, let's make no mistake, he is a butcher, he is a monster, but yeah, there might be something that you see where you go, I'm a little conflicted here. You might just find a little bit of understanding in him.
We look forward to getting to know and understand him more. Thank you so much for talking with us, Mr. Bale.
Christian Bale, everybody! Tamara, how you doing?
I am doing great because I am here with Sean Gunn, a.k.a. Kraglin. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I couldn't be better, I guess. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, you were just saying that it's cool to come here because you're seeing so many friends on the carpet. Is there anyone in particular you're reuniting with or seeing?
You know, I haven't seen, you know, the Guardians, we just wrapped Guardians 3, you know, a handful of weeks ago. So I've seen them a little more recently. But some of the other people, Chris and Taika and Tessa, I haven't seen them since we shot the movie. So it'll be great to see everybody and to see the movie.
I know, that's the fun part of this. You're going to finally see it in a theater with people. Wait, I have to ask you what it was like working with Taika, because obviously you and James have worked together a lot on the Guardians. Yeah. So what's it like being under someone else?
You know, Taika is just amazing. He's a force of nature, and I kind of couldn't believe how fun his set is. It's very much, you know, he's very chill and kind of anything goes, and it's a great situation to sort of let loose and let your best self come out. He's very different from my brother. My brother's very different from the Russos. The Russos are very different from Taika. All directors are different, and I love that. That's what makes movies unique, right?
And yet you get to bring Kraglin to all of them. So I am curious, what is the one thing that Kraglin you kind of keep consistent for each time we see him?
Well, for Kraglin, I'm always aware that Kraglin is on quite a journey, from the first movie to the second movie to now what we're going to see in Thor, and then there's a lot. I don't want.
No spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers.
And Dart, but Kraglin, we will see Kraglin in the third Guardians movie and in the Christmas special, and so Kraglin's always growing. It's always like, what new can we find from this guy, and hopefully, his journey is something that people respond to.
Well, I know they're going to. You are so much fun to watch in this. Have a great time watching it tonight, and thank you so much for stopping by and talking to the fans.
I hope everybody loves the movie. Thanks for having me. This is the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Bye. And that is Sean Gunn. It's so great to see people here. It's so great to have this incredible mix of Guardians and Asgardians. And now we're going to go to stage one to see what's happening over there.
Oh, I'll tell you what's happening over here. We're joined by the God of Thunder, Chris Hemsworth.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Chris, I got to ask you, you're kind of a fitness guy. You've got an app. You try to stay in okay shape. What was it like for you to know that the internet was talking more about Natalie's biceps than yours this time around?
I was glad. I trained her.
Really?
Yeah, that was all my doing.
You did that.
Can you?
Her commitment and my motivation and teaching, yeah.
So when she comes up, if we're to ask her, how did you get into shape?
I wouldn't ask her that. No. Let's just keep that between us.
Okay. She doesn't like to talk too much about it,
do you
I guess.
have some advice for other aspiring Thors in terms of fitness?
Well, we see a lot of them on the carpet over here. They're doing fantastic. They're in better shape than I am.
They're looking great.
They don't need any help from me.
I have to ask, though, what it was like. I mean, obviously, we've been hearing a lot about the story of Jane and Thor from Thor's perspective, mostly through ghosted, unanswered calls and voicemails and things like that. What was it like, not just to have Jane come back, but to have Natalie come back for this one?
Fantastic. I started this journey with Natalie 11, 12 years ago, and Taika pitched this story to me a few years ago, and I was thrilled and excited, but mostly to work with Natalie again. She's a dear friend and incredibly talented, and I love what she had done in the previous films. But she and all of us were excited to see a different side of the character, and that's what we have in this film, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, and talking about that journey, you are now the first actor, the first Marvel hero to have 4 solo films. That's kind of crazy, huh?
That's cool, yeah. That's exciting and humbling, and I don't know if they're trying to usher me out to the finish line quickly and get on with it, but either way, I'll take it. And
they sit you down and they're like, now, Chris, everybody else did 3, so...
That's right. Will we squeeze one more out of you? Sure. Look, I've loved every step of this journey, and each time I do a Marvel film, I think this is the last one, and not for me, but I think someone's going to be sick of me, and to be asked back again and again, and to be here with 8 or 9 films now with Marvel is a dream. So.
Well, we saw a real shift in Thor around in Ragnarok, and it seems like you get to have a lot of fun with these.
Absolutely. And look, each film we got the opportunity to do something very different, and that comes from working with different directors, having a different story, different scripts. In particular, when Taika came along, both of us had said we're ready for something differently creatively from the character, and it was a beautiful script that offered us that opportunity. But he is a master at sort of misdirection, and just when you think you have a grasp on what's happening, he'll change it and give you something else, and that's what makes there's a sort of unpredictable nature to his storytelling across all of his films. But in my experience with the Marvel films that we've done together has just been unlike anything else I've done.
In Ragnarok, we saw Thor kind of trying to come to terms with who his family is and who he is, and sort of being comfortable with himself. And I thought that was such a fun thing to see. What would you say is Thor's journey this time in Love and Thunder? What is he looking for?
Without giving too much away, it's a journey of self-discovery. There's obviously a love story in there. I think Taika wanted to make a romantic comedy set in space, and it's that, and it's crazy and wild and unique and different, and you know, yeah, as I said, as to speak to the journey of the character, you'll have to tune in and see.
Well, we cannot wait to see it. We cannot wait for everybody else to see it. Chris Hemsworth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. Excited for you all to see it. Have a great night.
You too. Take care.
Thank you so
Oh my
much.
goodness. So much happening.
Wow. We're going to go kick it over to Tamara. Tamara, how are you doing?
I'm good. I just have to say, like, it is so much fun to watch all of the actors just try and dance around answering our questions and yet not really being able to say anything because they've all been trained so well to avoid spoilers. But I have to say, I love listening to Chris Hemsworth talk about the journey of Thor. I mean, this is a character who over time has been through so much. I mean, he's lost his mom, his dad, his brother, his home planet, his realm, and he's trying to figure out his place in the world. And I love the fact that this is 4 for Thor. I kind of want to start that chant, 4 for Thor, 4 for Thor, 4 for Thor. But there's actually a story that he's told in interviews about being on the set of Ultron and hearing folks talk about Marvel Studios' Captain America Civil War, and he wasn't in it, so he kind of thought that he was done. And I'm so glad that we got a 4th Thor movie because it's just amazing to watch him on this journey. What's happening on your stage right now?
Right now, we have the mighty Thor herself, Natalie Portman, everyone!
Oh, Natalie, welcome back to the MCU.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I, for one, am so glad to have another lady superhero, but also another lady in STEM in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I agree. I'm so happy to be back. I feel so lucky to be back with this crew.
Now, when Taika pitched this storyline to you, what was your reaction?
I was so excited to get the chance to work with Chris and Tessa again. I worked with Tessa not on a Thor movie, but on Annihilation before, so I was so thrilled to get the opportunity to get to be with them again and to work with Taika for the first time, who's just such an extraordinary talent.
Were you able to improvise a lot?
It was a learning process for sure. I definitely have like renewed respect for it, seeing what Taika and Chris and Tessa are able to come up with on the fly, among the many incredible people who are in this. It was a joy every day to get to watch.
It seems like it's just a group of people that really trusts each other, really loves to collaborate with each other, really loves to listen and work with each other, which is lovely to see.
I think everyone was really having a good time, and you can tell when you watch it, like, it's a party.
I want to talk about the moment at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019 when you came out and Taika Waititi got on his knees and presented Mjolnir to you. How did it feel for you in that moment?
It was surreal. I mean, Taika is wonderful at knowing how to make everything a real moment and finding humor in and spontaneity in every gesture. So it was really fun and exciting to get to come out to the world that way.
And speaking of moments, one thing that we had talked about with Chris just now is that we have heard the story of Jane and Thor from Thor's perspective for so long, and it's been so interesting to see. What are we going to see from Jane's perspective? What is Jane feeling, and what has Jane been up to?
We almost
to watch and find out.
Dang it.
But yes, that is an exciting question to ponder.
I love it. And then finally, how does it feel to know? Hemsworth is just so proud of how fit he is. How does it feel to know that people are talking more about your biceps than his?
Well, I mean, Hemsworth is the ultimate. I mean, he's incredible, and it was very lucky to have him as the sort of expert and guide. He was very generous with sharing the kind of inside info. And it's really fun to get to be a 6-foot character when you're a 5'3" girl. That doesn't happen often in your life.
The magic of cinema.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. It's so nice to see you.
You too.
Take care. All right. Now, there is a lot of facts that I know about Thor and a lot of facts that you know about
You're
Thor.
kind of a Thorologist.
Yeah, but let's see what the fans know about Thor.
I'm Mike.
I'm Andrew.
And we're doing Thor Trivia!
Yeah! All right, Thor, Avengers, Thor: The Dark World, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Then it's also Thor Ragnarok, and also
We got Thor, we got the Avengers, we got the Avengers Age of Ultron, we got Thor Ragnarok, we got Avengers Infinity War, we got Endgame, and now we got Thor Love and Thunder.
it is Vision, Thor, Odin, Jane Foster, and Captain America. And yeah, that's all of them, right?
It is Thor, it is Odin, it is Captain America, it is Jane Foster, and that's about it.
Hela, Loki, Odin. We have Thor, of course, and then Heimdall. And I'm out of time.
There's Odin, there's Frigga, there's Thor, there's Sif, there's Hogan, there's Fandral, there's Valkyrie. I just beat a god! I just beat a god! Victory for the humans!
Ooh, they're smart.
I could tell you endless things about Norse mythology, but I think they have me beat on specifically MCU's Thor.
MCU Norse mythology.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, we got a President Loki.
Oh,
I didn't
we were
see
hoping
them.
for alligator Loki,
Listen,
but I mean,
this is no shade to President Loki.
Yes.
Who I love, but
that's right. And a reminder, if you see costumes that you like, please share it with us. Make sure to follow us on all the socials at Marvel, at Thor Official, and use the hashtag Thor Love and Thunder. Oh, hello. Oh my goodness. Yes, they are all going wild. And right now we have with us the director of the film and Korg, Taika Waititi. Hello, sir. Taika.
I didn't even ask them to do that.
Taika.
okay, but did you ask them to do that?
I didn't ask them to do that.
Okay. All right, if you say so.
Good.
I am so overjoyed to be here tonight. I want to say Ragnarok was one of my favorite films, one of our favorite films for sure. And so we're so excited for the world to see Love and Thunder. You came in, and Chris has talked about this, you came in and you kind of wanted to shake things up in a very big way. All of you did. Can you talk about what you kind of wanted to do with Thor when you came in?
On the first one, it was really just about working with Chris's strengths. I'm good friends with him, and he's just the kind of guy that you want to be on an adventure with in real life. And so, we just wanted to really embrace that and work with his strengths, which is he's just good at everything. And so, and then on this new one, we wanted to take it a little further and introduce this concept of love and what that means to Thor.
Let me ask you, how did you have to convince anybody to let you make Thor a himbo? Do you know himbo?
Well, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a.
Oh, like a bimbo, but a himbo.
Yes.
Like a golden
yes.
retriever man.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think I had to convince anyone at all, really, no.
Really? They just let you do it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, I think everyone knows, it's exploitation, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's about time.
Yeah.
So,
it's about time we had some exploitation in the film industry. Now, I want to ask, you said you wanted to tell a love story. Why was it so important to bring Jane back now and tell this story?
Well, because she's a beloved character, and also Natalie's a beloved actor, and and I've got a lot of love for her. I've admired her for many years, and even just to have the chance just to work with her was huge for me, and to bring her back and to take that character from the comics, the mighty Thor, and for her to hold the hammer, it's just a beautiful progression and evolution of the franchise.
I heard that you went to her house personally and pitched the storyline to her.
Yeah, I dropped off some comic books with that storyline in it, but I think it's these films. Luckily, Ragnarok I think was probably something that that really maybe open that door a little bit more, Yeah.
People saw what you could do with it.
Yeah.
Now, we're also introducing some other characters that I love from that same run of comics and a little bit later, with especially Gore, the God Butcher. I love it. What made you choose Gore for the villain?
Well, at Marvel, so me and Brad Winderbaum, right from the start, we were thinking about what we were going to do. We wanted Jane as Mighty Thor. We'd always loved Gore. We always loved that comic run, and so that really was like the first idea for a villain, was to bring him in, and then to get Christian was just, that was just like, for me, like, again, I'm really like amazed with all the actors I managed to get into this film, like real heavyweights, and
yeah,
it's been amazing.
Now, Christian said that their cut from the film is a Gore dance number. Can you explain or show us any of this Gore dance that exists?
I can't show it to you because it's, Christian owns that. That's his, he copyrights his dances. I don't know if you know that about him.
That's right.
But yeah, I wanted to. We were just exploring different ways, with villains of like, what we could do with them, and that was an idea that came about. And it's sometimes with villains you just need them to be bad and not amazing dancers.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is if you see Christian dance, you immediately weep with joy, and that doesn't work for a villain.
No, it's not going to work.
Too relatable a villain.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for
Thank
talking
you,
to
guys.
us today. We are so excited to show the world this
I'm
movie.
very excited.
Taika Waititi! Oh, tomorrow, what's going on?
What's going on is that I am here with executive producer Victoria Alonso, and we were just talking about the amazingness of Taika Waititi.
We are so blessed to have his talent, his joy, and his never-ending energy to bring another Thor to the world. How exciting is that, right? I mean, we started, I know, Thor 4. That's a hard one to say, Thor 4, especially for a foreigner.
I was trying to start a 4 for Thor chant, and then I realized how hard it is to say. 4 for Thor, for blah, 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 blah.
Thor for that. No, that would be a big, that would be a difficult one. Yeah. No, but it's super exciting to have him and the mighty Thor. So we have Miss Portman as well, which is, again, another privilege.
I have to ask you about the origin story of how you all decided that this was the right time for the mighty Thor and bringing in this story from the comics.
Well, we have a trajectory where we have our regular Thor, and then as you can see when you go see the movie, I'm not going to give you a lot of details because otherwise you're not going to go see it, and I expect you all to see it at least 4 times. That it makes absolute sense how to get her there, and in this love story to make sure that the mighty of the two of them could unite.
It's really beautiful. And it's really funny. And there's this beautiful relationship between Valkyrie and this beautiful friendship. Can you talk about bringing that to the screen without spoilers?
I think it's a true buddy. They're buddies. I mean, Thor and Valkyrie are buddies, and she's doing the job that he said, I don't want to do. Please be king and take it over. And I think that throughout their time together, they learn about each other, and they not only do they learn about how to meander through this world, but also to be friends, to be true friends and support one another.
And that's one of the joys of watching this film, watching all the friendships over time. Thor has been on such a journey, and this film has been on a technological journey. Can you give us insight into working with the volume and what that production process was like?
Every year we get some new development in technology, and I think having the volume and to be honest with you, for the actors is so important because all of a sudden they don't walk into a green screen world, they walk into perhaps the world that it would, or if it's not partial, is full of the world that they're going to be living. So it's super helpful to the characters. And, it's new technology, so there's a lot to do, a lot to learn about it. I always have all kinds of criticism, as people know, to make it better, so we can do it to make it better.
Well, that's your job. Thank you for pushing the envelope all the time. It's such a joy to always talk to you. Thanks for talking to the fans.
I just want to say to all the fans out there, thank you for your support. COVID is not over, but we're getting better, so thank you. And every format is available, so please go see it in any format all over the world. Thank you.
2D, 3D, 4D, 4 Thor.
For all of them. For Thor, all of them.
All right. Have a great time tonight. Enjoy the movie. Thank you. Great to see you. All right. We are so excited to keep talking to people who are involved with Thor. Let's keep taking a look.
Anthony, we can't talk about anything in this movie, but we can talk a little bit about the new hero and new villain.
That's right. We are very excited to see the mighty Thor, Jane Foster, and also we've talked a lot about Gore the God Butcher.
But who are
But
they?
who are they really? Let's get to know their likes and their dislikes.
Roll it.
Jane? The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like? 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take. This is my vow. All gods will die. You are not like the other gods that I've killed, because I've something worth fighting for.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Rated PG-13. Tickets on sale now.
You know, watching all of these clips, one thing jumps out. I mean, a lot of things jump out, but one thing that obviously jumps out is the aesthetic choices of this film.
It is so 80s and so powerful, so heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that is due to the visual effects team.
Yeah. Some of the views, I mean, look, 2 giant screaming goats.
Two of my favorite characters in the new film, almost entirely computer generated. The goats, Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder.
But also, just looking at the environments, looking at just the locations, the places this movie goes, and the technology that they use to create it. I mean, they're using things like the volume. They're using things like these giant LED backgrounds where actors can sort of see what they're doing in the space that they're in.
That's new because we're used to seeing the behind-the-scenes shot in just the green screen space, and this was a fully immersive, just set the volume in which they could act a little more organically.
Yeah, and of course the wide range of creatures and characters that show up that are entirely CG. I mean, Korg obviously comes to mind.
Korg, my favorite boy.
Business Meek, a brand new Meek.
Okay, so Meek's power suit. I think that's not a spoiler.
That's in the trailer.
But Meek's power suit, something to watch for in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But obviously, you know, everything they do and everywhere they go is due to this incredible VFX team and their work. Let's take a little look at how those VFX were created for this film.
God of Thunder,
King Yakan!
you have finally joined our fight.
Well, as they say, better late than not at all.
This is very nice. As you know, we used to live in a peaceful oasis, but then our gods were murdered.
Murdered?
And now our sacred temple has been left unguarded, and Hopuskus holds the control of its power. It is our most sacred shrine, and it desecrates.
Not for long. King Yakan, tell them what happened here today. Tell of the time that Thor, his ragtag, motley crew, misfit desperados, turned the tide in the battle and etched their names in history. The odds may be against us, but I'll tell you this for free. Here it comes. This ends here and now!
Oh!
Oh, we have a wonderful moment happening right now. Karen Gillan is checking out a Nebula cosplayer who is an amazing Nebula cosplayer, if I may say.
I will never get over the interactions of the fans and their beautiful work, getting to meet the people who embody those characters on screen, and vice versa.
Speaking of which, here is Karen Gillan right now. Oh, hi, that's
Welcome.
you. Welcome. We just saw that Nebula cosplay.
That was really cool. I've seen 2 Nebulas so far, and the makeups have been completely intricate and incredible. And I'm like, how are you doing that yourselves? It takes 2 people about 4 hours to do it to me. So I'm very impressed.
Has that gotten a little easier over time?
Yeah, it has actually. Yeah, it started off as about 5 hours on the first Guardians film, and now we have it down to about 3 hours, and it's just much more streamlined.
Now, we saw about maybe, 15, 30 seconds of Thor and the Guardians interacting at the end of Endgame, and we kind of saw a little bit about what that interaction is going to be like. I know you can't say too much, but can you give us a general, what's the vibe between the Guardians and Thor?
The vibe is really fun. I would say the vibe is bonkers. You know, Taika, the director, has such a specific style and tone. It's completely bonkers. He has his own like brand of humor in a way, and so I think you're going to see the Guardians kind of plopped into that world and that sort of sense of humor. So you're going to see a more bonkers side of them, and yeah, it's going to be funny to see them interacting with each other.
And it feels like, though, you know, between James and y'all and everything you've been doing on Guardians and everything Taika and the team have been doing on Thor, space is just sort of like a bonkers, wacky place sometimes.
I think it is. Yeah. And the weird thing is I've spent probably like I've spent years in space now at this point, so it's becoming really normal to me. It's more bonkers on Earth.
Nebula is in some ways very much the straight man a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yet you still manage to get those zingers in.
Yeah, she's a very serious, she takes herself really seriously. And in that, I kind of find a lot of comedy, because there's nothing more funny than someone who's like reacting really seriously to something when everyone's kind of finding the humor in it. And so in that sense, I kind of find her funny, even though she's very much like on the straighter side of things. She's an angry former sadist.
She's so angry.
She's an angry woman.
Time. You know, and then, you know, not to stifle that emotional expression, because it's good for women to be angry sometimes.
If she's angry, she should be angry.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit how things went on Guardians 3. Was everything cool? I know you can't talk about that either, but can you just let us know a little bit about how it went and how you're feeling about it?
It was such an amazing experience. I loved working on that movie so much. I'm like about to burst. I loved it. It was so good. I just loved where the character went. I loved working with James again. I'm so glad that he was back with us, and it was like the family got reunited, and I think we've taken it to a whole new level this time. And you know, there might be maybe a feeling of closing out a chapter of sorts. And so it was a little bit bittersweet in a sense, but I think everybody is kind of like just upped it for this one.
Did it feel kind of different? How was it for you to have Nebula be a full-fledged part of the crew and just be able to kind of be on that side of things where you get to be a little bit more like wacky and chummy with the other characters?
I was really excited to be like, am I a fully fledged Guardian now? Yes, I think I am. And I was like, I did not think that was going to happen from the first time I played the character in the first film. So to get to actually really be part of the team and kind of, just feel a part of it in that way was an honor.
And did you and Sean have to eat at a different lunch table until Guardians 3, and now you get to eat at the big lunch table with the cool kids? Is that how it worked?
Okay, so not literally, but metaphorically, yes.
Well, we are glad to have you at the cool kids table now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking with us, Karen.
Thank you so much.
Karen Gillan, thank you so much. Tamara, what you got going on? Who you with?
Oh my gosh, there is so much going on down here. So Christian Bale just walked by. Chris Hemsworth just walked by. And I have to say, like, that's okay. No, you're all good. Christian Bale, you can bump into me anytime you want to. That was our Gore. And as I was saying, Chris Hemsworth just walked by. He stopped by. He said hello. I said, thank you so much. We've chatted with you. You chatted with my friends Erica and Anthony. He was like, I know, but I just wanted to stop by and say hello. Ridiculously charming, the essence of movie star. But I mean, okay, I don't know if you all heard that. That was the fans screaming. I'm not sure who they're screaming for. Oh, no, they're seeing Chris Hemsworth. They're waving at him. They're screaming for him. It's so exciting here. There's so much going on. And I loved watching that interview with Karen Gillan. She is a fellow member of the Ginger Club, and she's so, so funny. So it was great to hear her talk with you guys about the cool kids table and what's going on. The other thing that's really cool is seeing all of the executives greet each other. And, you know, they've all worked so hard on this movie. And so to hear Luis D'Esposito talk about the fact that this is actually the night that makes him the most nervous. You know, he's seen the film already a bunch of times through the production process, but the night that they birth it to fans, I love the fact that all of these executives, all of these filmmakers care just as much as we do about delivering a fantastic movie for the fans. It's pretty amazing, and you see that heart on screen, you see that artisanship, you see all the care that they put into it. So it's really fun to see it all manifesting here as they greet each other. And right now we've got Chris, we've got Christian over there talking to folks, and it's great to see all of this happening and feel all of this incredible energy. What's happening over at your stage?
I didn't go. I watched the live stream. I wasn't there.
We
We are here on the stage with the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Feige.
Hello. Kevin Feige, did you see Tamara Krinsky steal Christian Bale's wallet? Did you see that happen?
No, it was like thievery to me.
He brushed up against her real quick, and it was gone like that.
Wow.
Oh, Tamara, sticky fingers Krinsky.
Have the police
Is at it
been
again.
called?
Well, this is a self-contained environment, so we have jurisdiction here.
Okay. Well, with that crane, you sure do.
Yeah, that was big snitch energy, though, Anthony.
I'm sorry. I immediately snitched. Kevin, I just want to. This is so wonderful. 29 Marvel films now with Love and Thunder, and and the momentum is just picking up. How is it feeling?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing every time we're on this carpet. It feels amazing. This is our first solo part 4. So that's exciting, and that look at the energy here and the enthusiasm for this movie. I said to Chris, this feels like your first one. It's awesome. And Taika, we had to go out of our way to not call it Ragnarok 2. And it's not, as Taika will tell you, but it's that renewed Taika energy followed us in for years and years into this movie.
I think we all sort of fell in love with the world that he created in Thor, and so what we can feel like we can safely say what the tone might be for this one, but what's the genre of this one? Because every Marvel film is pretty much a different genre.
This genre is the Taika genre. It's the Taika Waititi genre, which is onto itself. And as he said, there's a ton of fun, as you've seen in all the trailers. But Taika did say, I don't want to do Ragnarok 2. I want to tell a new story. And the title is there. I mean, there is a lot of emotion in this, which in Ragnarok, but particularly in many of Taika's other movies, you see that balance. And that's really what the entire cast brings in this one.
And I know that, we've talked before, you were a huge comics guy before you got into this. How did it feel to be sort of adapting this Jason Aaron run, which was a hugely influential run, and bringing back Jane as Thor, which was a hugely influential run on the comics?
2 great runs, and that was Taika saying these are 2 great stories. They were influential for him on Ragnarok, even just getting the tone and getting the idea of what that movie could be and how the continuation of the Thor franchise could be. And that both Gore and the Mighty Thor are in this. Gore and the Mighty Thor in Thor 4.
More! There it is.
Why didn't I think of that?
Kevin, before you leave, just drop one thing that you're not supposed to drop. Just one big secret right here. Just look right in the camera.
About what?
About anything.
I've not seen the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi yet.
Whoa, dude!
I've not seen it.
No,
I usually stay up and watch it, and I didn't this time. I was
Cut to Tamara. We cannot have.
Help us out here.
I don't know what's going on over there. Brad Winterbaum and I are over here talking about Marvel Studios' Miss Marvel and how much we love it, and we're from Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. When you're from that part of the world, it's like going home when you watch that show. It's incredible.
It really is. I mean, I have to say, is it giving anything? I mean, it's aired, so I can say hearing the Bon Jovi music in it. Oh my God!
I know, it's incredible. The music, the score, everything about that show is amazing.
Yeah, it's near and dear to my heart for sure. So, you're not just involved in Disney Plus shows, which we'll get back to in a minute. You're also very, very involved in this movie. So, tell us about what made it special for you and what you're excited for audiences to see.
Well, Thor is obviously near and dear to my heart. Taika and I worked on Ragnarok together. That was such a labor of love. And now we're excited to bring Love and Thunder to the world, which is a completely different story, but it's so amazing and surprising in so many ways.
So I have to ask, too, as a filmmaker, Marvel has really earned the trust of audiences over the years, and with this movie, you get to do some absolutely wacky things. I mean, we have a space boat pulled by goats. What are the meetings like with Taika? What's he like in a meeting?
Working with Taika is like working with a big kid, and it's like it reminds me, honestly, if I had to put it like in terms that I could understand, it's like going to your friend's house and they've got like the best toys in the world, and you just sit on the basement floor and do the craziest, wackiest stuff with that toy box. And every day is it's like just using your imagination. It's really inspiring to work with him.
Oh my gosh, it sounds amazing. Well, I'm going to ask you one last question, then I know you've got to get inside. I do have to ask about Disney Plus. What are you excited for folks to see next?
Disney Plus is so exciting because you get to explore so many different stories and push at new frontiers of who gets to tell those stories and what the subject of those stories are. And it's amazing what's coming down the pipe.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to the Marvel fans. They love getting behind the scenes, and have a great time tonight.
Thank you so much.
Valkyrie! Valkyrie! And that is King Valkyrie
That's
to
right.
all of us.
That's right.
We're here with Tessa Thompson, King Valkyrie of New Asgard. Hi. Hello.
Tessa. How's Valkyrie doing with the position of king? Because I feel like she's loving all of the power suits very much, but the rest of it may not
The
be for
power
her.
itself, maybe no.
No, she's into the suits. She loves musical theater, which is why she's wearing
Phantom of
a
the Opera
Phantom of the Opera
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt. She loves being on Earth. She loves all the folks that cosplay. That's her favorite. She just doesn't. She's not great with paperwork. Her and Meek are struggling a little bit in the bureaucracy.
But they understand dress for the job you want.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they're really excited to be fashionable. We were really inspired. Myas, the costume designer who's brilliant, by Frida Kahlo and her three-piece suits. But it's really fun to imagine what she's like on Earth.
And I do love that she came to Earth, and because she's such a number one. She was a new character to everybody in Ragnarok and immediately became a fan favorite, which must have been wonderful for you.
It was an amazing surprise.
But also, we really think of her as like sort of a closed-off badass, and so to see that the closed-off badass enjoys musicals and enjoys these kind of like cosplays and things on Earth is a really fun insight into her character.
No, she's just a big pile of mush, you know? When we met her in Ragnarok, she had a lot of trauma, and she was really missing her sisters, and she was healing, but she's much healthier now, much happier, but still as adventurous as she ever was.
Coming back and working with Taika and Chris and everybody again, I'm sure was wonderful. But how did it feel to have Natalie and some of the other kind of classic Thor castmates in for the first time with you?
It felt amazing. I'm a fan of these films. Natalie and I are friends outside of making these movies, and so they sort of have the spirit of summer camp anyways, and then to have a friend come along, and it was so fun to finally see her have a cape and enter a universe that was familiar to her, but as a superhero.
We see in the trailer that you two have sort of like a buddy relationship already.
Yeah, we're good friends. That's the other thing, that their exes, she and Thor and Valkyrie, are good friends, so it's a real family affair.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tessa Thompson. We're so excited to see this movie.
Me too. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. I would like to ask before we go, what do you think Valkyrie
No, you can do it.
I can do this.
No, you can do
it. How is Valkyrie important in the cinematic universe? Why is her story important?
Yeah, why? The fans can tell me. Why is Valkyrie important? I guess she's a badass.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Tessa.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tamara, what's going on with you?
Hello, hello, hello. I promised you folks from the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm here with Joe Russo.
Hi, how are ya?
I'm good. How are you feeling tonight being here, not having to worry about your movie?
I love it. There's zero pressure on me, and there's all the pressure on Taika. So, I'm here to support everybody. I love everyone involved in this film. It's nice when, you're not working on a movie to come and be surprised and be a fan like everyone else. Get excited. I brought my kids with me, so we're here to have fun.
I love that. And I love the fact that, speaking of family, the Marvel group of directors really does seem like you've got this familial, collaborative thing going on. Can you talk about what your relationships are like together? Because you work with characters over different movies together.
For sure. This is a group that has spent a lot of time together over the last decade, collaborating with each other, building out this mosaic of stories. We're all very close. I talk to Taika all the time. He's one of my favorite filmmakers on the planet. I love watching anything that he does. He's so unique and individual and inspiring with his work. And it's sort of a career highlight to know that, directing is a very isolating craft. It's not often that you get to hang out and work with other directors in the way that we did at Marvel. So we're all lifelong friends, and we've all been through the intensity of making these movies together, and that's a bonding element.
I feel like along those lines, I should ask you for advice on how to have good brotherly relationships. Sean Gunn was here before. He's worked with his brother. You direct with your brother. The Thor movies have talked so much about brother relationships. What's your advice for good brother relationships?
Well, my advice for good brother relationships, well, if you work together, leave it at work. Never take it home, But family's everything. It really is. Like, my brother and I would have never made it through those movies, 4 films in 7 years, back-to-back Avengers movies, without each other. We really wouldn't have. And we would have made it through without the collaboration of everyone else. So, Marvel really is a family. It really is a very strong, close-knit community where everybody is very supportive of each other, helps each other through really large, difficult projects. And so my advice is, be kind and work hard.
And my last question for you, that's great advice. My last question for you is, you've had the really unique experience of directing actors who play characters that were originated in other films that you've had to bring into your film. How do you do that as a director? Remain true, yet still put your stamp on them?
We love that. I mean, it's interesting to take elements that are pre-existing and put them together in ways that are surprising or different. That's another great thing about Marvel is that, everyone can express themselves in their own way. We direct very differently than Taika directs, very differently than Ryan or James directs, and so we're all bringing something very different to this giant collaboration. I think that's what makes it exciting for the fans, and that's what keeps the movies surprising.
Well, thank you so much for showing up. This movie is called Love and Thunder, and it's great to see you bring in so much love to the Marvel Cinematic family.
I'm ready for some Love and Thunder.
Get in there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Thank you.
It's incredible. All that it takes to bring an entire universe together.
Yeah, and we talked about some of the source material and some of the inspirations for these films, including Thor: Love and Thunder, one of which is the Mighty Thor, and one of which is Thor 2012 or 2014, which was Jason Aaron.
That's right.
And we talked about how Thor is 60 years old this year, starting with Journey into Mystery.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thor.
And if you want to read all of these stories, if you want to dig deeper into the Marvel Universe,
you can find 30,000 comics on Marvel Unlimited app. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Marvel Unlimited. Explore the Marvel Universe. The characters you know. The stories you love. All for a low price. All in one place. All at your fingertips. This is Marvel Unlimited.
all right. We know you're out there. We know you're watching. And we're watching what you're saying on social.
But only if you tag hashtag Thor Love and Thunder or follow us at Marvel or at Thor Official.
That's right. Now, we have got some of the best fans in the universe, the Marvel universe out here, and we are watching their reaction to everybody showing up, and I believe we have just seen the arrival of Chris Pratt, Star-Lord himself.
Star who?
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord?
Yeah.
Gosh, I can never get it right. I'm doing a bit.
Oh my gosh. I just saw, did you see the mocap Korg costume?
I did. That's my favorite costume.
Somebody is dressed as Taika doing mocap for Korg.
He has the goats with him.
I love
can we
that.
cut to a shot?
Yeah,
of
there
that?
we just saw him.
Korg, CG Korg with the goats. It's very exciting for us. You know, I really seriously shout out to all of the Marvel fans. They've been here for longer than we have, out in the sun, and we get a little bit of shade now. But they've been out here in their leather and furs and wigs and helmets. Thank you all so much.
Y'all are amazing.
You're incredible. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. And there we see, there he is. There's Chris Pratt signing some autographs, checking out some Star-Lords. We've got a couple very good Star-Lords.
Again, leather coats in 90-degree weather.
Yeah. Bonus points to everybody wearing the original trench coat Star-Lord in the 90-degree heat today.
Yes.
That is commitment. That is absolutely commitment.
Wow.
Erica.
Anthony.
Have you ever done any of the Marvel cosplay yourself?
I have actually.
Yeah.
I have done a casual Star-Lord because I am quite partial to a red leather jacket.
Yeah.
And also of the character that I'm not sure that is officially part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe yet. But if you are a fan of Marvel and Marvel Comics, you might be able to figure out which one it was.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Well,
Have you dressed up? Have you done Marvel cosplay?
I did. I've got a very good Civil War Spider-Man at home that I do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And when I do it, I walk around with Cap's shield.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You know, jokes.
Mm-hmm.
This is what people came for.
Our jokes?
I think so.
Oh. Well, I'm glad they're getting a lot of them then.
We are just minutes away, by the way, from the world premiere of Thor: Love and Thunder.
I am so excited for people to see this film, and all of you will be able to see it on July 8th, so buy your tickets now. It is so worth seeing in the theaters. You just want to see those goats screaming at the top of their lungs on a full screen.
Well.
What's happening, team? We all right?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Look at this, man. What a turnout. Gotta love these Marvel fans.
I'll tell you what, they have been wonderful. So many good Star-Lords. I saw you pointing some of them out. It's got to feel good to see that.
Let's give a shout out to all these wonderful cosplayers out here, man. I love it. Wow, the dedication. It means so much to us to have you show up here. We made these, made this movie for you. You're the best fan base in the world. We love you. We love you. Thank you.
I gotta say, it's exciting to see the Guardians and Thor together because there is such a
no shit. Woo! Come on. No, they don't care. Sorry.
But the last we saw of them, it seems that tensions were thick in the ship.
Yeah, they were. They were. Thor takes up a lot of space in the Milano.
Well, I gotta say.
What's the matter with you? Hey now, hey now.
But I gotta say, Thor and Star-Lord, very similar dudes with very similar egos, and having the two of them together has got to be a very interesting thing, and it must have been a fun thing to play out.
Oh yeah, well we'll see. It was a fun thing when we did it with the Russo brothers directing us on Avengers on Endgame. At the end of that, I thought it was a lot of fun, and Taika takes it really in his own direction here in Love and Thunder. I'm very curious myself to see what's assembled because obviously we know what we did, but you know how Marvel is. They won't even let us know what's going on. And so I'm about to go in this theater and find out what the hell we did.
Ooh, is there anything that you're excited for people to be looking for in this?
Well, I mean, we got Christian Bale in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How dope is that? I'm very excited to watch him, the God Slayer. I'm really excited to, Taika is amazing as Korg and Hemsworth, I was there to witness what he's doing in this. I think he did a fantastic job. He looks so good. I mean, it's incredible the shape that he's in. He's bringing a total rock and roll 80s vibe to space. And, it's Taika Waititi. He knows what he's up to. So I'm excited to get in there and check it out.
Yeah. And we got space goats now, man.
We got space goats. I remember Taika was like, I won't do his impression. He's like, he just wanted to stick James with some goats. Yeah. He was like, I've rewritten the script, mate, and I decided to put some goats in there and see what he's gonna do with them. So James has to pick up where Taika left off, and he stuck us with some space goats.
But I love this because this brings up a question that I've always had about the MCU, which is, do y'all really do that to each other? Where it's like, we're going to put this in the background, and now you have to deal with it, man, and let's see what you do.
Typically, no, but I guess Taika kind of plays by his own set of rules, you know what I mean? He did that with, you'll see, there's a few things that he did that I think it was kind of an inside joke to play on James, and, you know, it's a bit of that sort of improv world where, you know, see what you can roll with, give and take, and the yes and sort of culture of comedy.
And you're no stranger to improvisation yourself. Is there anything that you're going to make somebody else in a later movie run with?
Oh, man.
Anything you'd want to?
God, you know, at this point, I think we've wrapped Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's a little too late now. And I'm not the director, you know, I'm just the actor. So I show up and do my thing, and I'm sort of at the mercy of what they want to put in the show, So
whatever they say that you have to give to somebody else, you're going to give them.
Absolutely. Of course I would, yeah.
Well, Chris, we're so excited to see the interaction between the Guardians and Thor. We're so excited to see this movie. Thank you so much for spending the time with us.
Absolutely my pleasure to be here. Thank you both for having me here, Marvel.com. And to all of you fans, again, thank you so much. It will never not be surreal to walk out onto a red carpet and see people dressed up like the character that you've played. So thank you. You honor us, you humble us, and we're grateful for you. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here.
We are getting so very close right now. Tamara, how are you doing over there?
I mean, I'm doing great. People keep walking by, actors keep walking by. It's so much fun. I'm hearing streams from all the fans. Just a couple minutes ago, Tessa Thompson, our Valkyrie, walked by. Huge cheers, and as I'm sure you can imagine. I have to say, though, it was really interesting listening to Chris Pratt talk about how the directors work together, and then interviewing Joe Russo, who's done 4 Marvel films with his brother. Joe Russo talk about how the directors work together. Slightly different versions about collaboration, and my guess is that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But I do sort of love this idea that, like, you know, just kind of maybe they play some practical jokes on each other and stick a thing in here or there that another director then has to pick up and use in an interesting and perhaps unexpected way. But there is so much that is unexpected in this particular movie, and it took so much to put it together. You know, there's an incredible group of artisans that came together. Thor has 25 costume changes, and that doesn't count the variations for each costume that we need. So, you know, it's pretty amazing seeing all of this. What's been happening up there? What's been some of your favorite moments so far?
Ooh, you know what? I love the fashion. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was wonderful to see everybody sort of taking their own vibe on the cosmic thing.
Good vibe. Good vibe.
Tessa Thompson.
Here. Okay, Tessa, my favorite outfit, the one that I'm like, oh, I would really want to wear that one. A walking, flying dagger.
Absolutely.
What are some of your favorite looks from tonight, Tamara?
Well, I mean, I've just kind of loved the fact that everybody's really leaning into sort of the armor idea, the metallic idea, and also sort of, you know, like, again, looking behind me, all the bright colors, this sort of rock 80s vibe. So let's take a look at some of the best looks from tonight on the carpet. Now, we all know Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, but there might be something else in the universe that's just as strong. Presented by California Almonds.
Behold, Mjolnir, Stormbreaker, the
Almond.
forged in the heart of a dying star. Only the worthy may possess its full might, capable of summoning the almighty Bifrost.
And almonds, an excellent source of magnesium to help support immunity.
How do you keep getting in here?
That's a weapon in wellness. Yeah, he gets it.
California Almonds,
Your friend in wellness.
See Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder, only in theaters July 8th.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Tamara.
You know, tonight has been absolutely amazing. It's been wonderful to see the talent come through here. And to see, honestly, Tamara, I gotta say, my favorite thing is just the absolute joyful vibe that all of these people have about this movie and about working together. It's been wonderful to see.
It's true, but wait, I have to ask you a question. Did you sell me out to Kevin Feige
No.
and tell him that I stole Christian Bale's wallet?
Look, listen, I get flustered in front of authority.
And tells on other people.
I didn't know what to do, and I gotta tell you, the first thing that pops into my head is throw someone else under the bus. I'm a bad person, Tamara.
You are not
and
a
I
team player.
apologize.
You have learned nothing from the Guardians. You have learned nothing from Team Thor. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm a weak man.
In reality, though, we love you, Tamara, and you are bringing the thunder. Thank you so much for being there and having us tonight.
It has been great to host this with both of you, sending all the love right back to you.
All right, everybody, make sure that you get your tickets for July 8th premiere of Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's right. It's going to be amazing. Thank you all for joining us. It has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you to the fans. Thank you to the cast and crew that have joined us here tonight.
We're gonna see a little sneaky peek of tonight. And Anthony, thank you to you.
Oh, thank you to you.
Yeah. Okay. Regular handshake.
Asgardian handshake. Hidden
The
snake that you didn't
cannot
see.
trust. Ah! And then
Asgardians, high one.
Marvel, your universe.
Who seeks to end us all. And putting together the greatest team ever.
Are you packed?
Yes. We've got Korg. He's my best friend. Yes. There's my ex-girlfriend Jane. Valkyrie.
This is the best day of my life!
The Guardians.
And giant goats.
Oh, look at those. They are wonderful.
Yes, they are. They also scream quite a lot.
You said this would be a relaxing holiday.
I said it was going to be like a relaxing holiday. Human handshake to the Asgardian shake into the snake that you cannot trust. Really dragging this out and finish the classic Asgardian high one.
In theaters July 8th. Tickets on sale now.